2020, huh? What a garbage fire of a year. Thankfully it's over, and 2021 is here to... it's still pretty shit, honestly, but hey, there are always games to take our minds off the bleak, dark shit surrounding us, and never was there more bleak, dark shit than in 2020. So let's break down the best and worst games of 2020. Biggest surprise. At E3 2019, Ubisoft announced Gods and Monsters, and I couldn't have been less enthusiastic about it. A Breath of the Wild ripoff? No thanks, the original one was bad enough. Taking out the Zelda and replacing it with Greek mythology isn't going to turn me around on the sheer shittiness of Breath of the Wild, not to mention that the name was generic as fuck. It turned out that Ubisoft felt the same way, however, as they ended up changing the name to Immortals Phoenix Rising, an even more generic name. Hey, Ubi, you were supposed to make the name better, not worse. I'm getting sidetracked. My point is, this game was extremely low on the totem pile of games I was looking forward to in 2020. But then the game released, and I had a PS5 that was sitting there waiting to be played after I'd finished the initial launch game, so I thought, why not give Imblablah's Fiend Meh Rise etc. a go? And wow, is the dialogue atrocious, boy howdy. The writer's constant failed attempts at humour throughout this game are sure to make even the most desperate chuckle fucker sad cringe right into their kazoo, but that makes it the perfect podcast game. This is one of the best examples of a game you can entirely shut the dialogue off in and run around doing quests without any fear that you'll miss out on something important. And hey, if you're listening to some kind of Smarty Pants podcast that helps you become a Smarty Pants, you'll also be improving your life at the same time you do dumb Ubisoft game stuff. And what do you know, it's fun to play, that's the major thing here. I like playing this game, I like finding all of the collectibles and dungeons and upgrading my junk. It also improves on Breath of the Wild by allowing you to keep your weapons! There's no weapon degradation here at all. You get a cool weapon and want to use it for the majority of the game? Go for it. Big bad Nintendo man isn't here to thieve your cool axe away. Good guy Ubisoft is here to... Sorry, I couldn't say good guy Ubisoft with a straight face at all. Man, what a shit company they turned out to be in 2020. Oh my god. My point is, Immortals Phoenix Rising is a fun time, and the biggest surprise of 2020. Biggest disappointment. Cyberpunk 2077. Where do I even begin with this thing? I waited 8 long years for this game. In the time it took for this game to release, I met a girl, got engaged, moved 3 times, had 4 jobs, and made 2 kids. 8 fucking years, and the best they could do was release a game that's barely as good as GTA 3. And much like GTA 3, I enjoyed the story of Cyberpunk. I didn't mind the gameplay. I like the characters. I even think the driving is pretty good. The problem with this game, however, is how much stuff was supposed to be included that wasn't, and how badly it runs on the previous generation of consoles. Now, full honesty here, I played the PC version of Cyberpunk, and I played it on a PC that I built late last year, so it ran pretty well for me for a majority of the 26 hours it took me to finish the story. The only real issue I had with the game came after a patch was released that caused crashes after an hour or 2 of play. This only happened a few times though before I reached the end game, and it didn't happen at all during my last 5 or 6 hours with the game. But how do a group of developers start developing a game before a new generation of consoles releases, spend the entirety of that generation making a game for that generation of consoles, and then release said game a month after the next generation of consoles releases, and have it run like absolute dog shit on the generation of consoles it was originally targeted for? Does this make sense to anybody? Am I crazy to think that this is beyond stupid? I can't believe CDPR spent all that time and money producing a game and then just said, fuck it, it'll do, and pushed it out the door just to get obliterated by the people that had been waiting so long for it. Yes, we wanted the game as quick as possible, but we wanted a polished game with all of the things you said would be in it. We didn't want, this.
It's a beautiful day, huh? Huh? Oh, hey there.
Game of the Year. I made a video about 6 months ago explaining why I loved the hell out of Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't feel like I need to go into any more detail here. I will say that while I enjoyed The Last of Us Part 2, Miles Morales, Crash 4, and yes, even Cyberpunk, None of these games came even close to matching the fun I had with Ghost, and that's the main word here, fun. In my opinion, video games should be fun first. I don't think I'm living on the edge by saying that, but if the gameplay isn't fun, then what's the point of playing a game? You should just go make a movie at that point. Ghost of Tsushima wasn't afraid of just being a video game-ass video game. It wasn't trying to reinvent the open world genre, it wasn't trying to do a bunch of neat new tricks with gameplay or story. These kinds of games are so rare these days. Everybody's trying to push the envelope and do things you've never seen before, but there's a joy to be found in games that feel like they're just trying to perfect a genre and playstyle that already exists. Sucker Punch asked themselves, what is the best type of game like this that we can make? And they went and made it. I'm very much looking forward to a follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, whether it's with the same characters or new ones, I don't really care. Just give me more of this. And that's me asking every developer out there, not just Sucker Punch. Make more games like this, please. We need them now more than ever. Ghost of Tsushima is my game of the year.